Hello, hello. I should be live. Hmm. Yes, I think I am. Hello. No. Yes, maybe. Great. Okay, good. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a favorite topic of mine. Just one more second. I'm just waiting for a friend to tell me if I am doing this right, and that will help me to feel good because these are the first times that I'm going live and I am practicing, to be honest. Cool. Yes, I'm getting a yes, but also my phone is not doing this one right. All right, let's not pay attention to it and just go ahead. Um, so, yes, the topic that is very close to my heart is executive identity versus executive branding. And it's an interesting topic because anytime I tell someone that I'll do executive coaching and they say, "Oh, are you into branding?" I'm like, yes, but a little bit deeper. So let's get into it. The key difference between the two is the work that we do in identity work is the work that we do internally. And the work that we do on branding is the work that we do externally. What does that mean? Executive identity is about who we are and the personal things that we have inside us, such as our traits, values, our beliefs, our mindset, the things that you cannot change them that easily. Well, I mean, you can definitely, that's what we do, but it's not something that we can do overnight. As opposed to executive branding, which is the work that is done externally, how we look, how we present ourselves, the colors, the style, even sometimes our phrases, and you can visually see them from outside. So that's a very simple way of looking at it. Another way that I always talk about this one is identity is the eyes from which you look outside. That's how you see your world. But branding is where eyes are on you and how others will see you inside. See the difference? It took me a while to understand this one because I always thought, okay, so my brand is a person that I am and the things that I say and how I do things. But once I went a little bit deeper, I understood the difference between the two. And one other thing that I can say about differentiating these two separate topics is, you know what? The work that we do in identity work is something that is very internal, very personal. No one really sees that, and it's very unique to us. However, the branding you can easily outsource. It's easy. Have you seen in these movies that someone comes from, I don't know, another city or has been a prince or princess that was lost in history and then they find it, or they get an older student and they do a complete makeover. They teach them how to read, speak a couple of languages, they fix their, how they look, their hair, or everything. And that is branding. You can give 10K or plus, that's the minimum you can pay for executive branding. And they do all this beautiful polish, and you now look presentable. So you might say, so which one is important? If you are going for higher position roles, higher profile roles, do I need the work, deeper work? Do I need to have the look and the external work? And because I'm an executive coach, I might be biased towards that. But the reality is, you need both. You can't just go and do the deep work, but on the outside, look shabby, not presentable. Or you can't be the person that is look very glamorous outside and polished and put together. Sometimes some of these gentlemen coming in a suit itself is like $20,000. I mean, okay, $4,000. I'm like, oh, wow, great, wonderful. And then you talk to them and it's like, all right, amazing, wonderful. Let's talk about a different topic. Let's talk about the sports. By the way, go Matildas. They are doing something great for football in Australia, finally, real football. So we do need both. And if you are in the school and listening to it at any point, live or later on replay, I want you to know that if you're just working on one side, something is missing, and I call your attention to both. Sometimes I get a resume to review, or someone is getting prepared for going for exec role and they want a dry run or a practice interview, and I receive their resumes and I look at it to review it. And of course, they are amazing. Quality work has been done. You can tell this person is solid. They know their business. They know what they can achieve. They know where they stand. But then you read it and it's like, there is nothing of that person in this piece of paper. And I always wonder and ask, so which part of you is in this? Because this is only the work history and qualifications. So where is you in this document or in this presentation of yourself? Which brings me to this point that when you are trying to present yourself, when you are going out there and talking about you talking about who you are and what you can do and what you can bring to the table, you would want to make sure that you use all the opportunities that you have. And all of those ones are the places, all those places that we have are the places that we can present ourselves. What do I mean by these places? There are more than 20 plus spots on internet, on digital space, and in real world, physical, that you can apply your branding. And you say, Shirin, why are you talking about branding and not identity? I have my reasons. I'll tell you a little bit later. Oh no, I'll tell you now. The reason I'm not talking about identity right now and I'm talking about branding first is that I want you to start thinking about it. And while you're working on your other deeper stuff and more meaningful stuff, you have an outlet to be able to present yourselves and present your brand out there. We'll get into the deeper stuff, and you can do an audit, you can do a leadership audit, you can do any sort of diagnosis or any sort of personality test and all of those really initial steps. Or you can do deeper work. However, right now where we are, and if you know, I'm working with everyone on Tuesday Talks, I'm coming live every Tuesday. Right now where you are, what I want you to do is to think of the spots that you can apply and present your brand. Think of the spots that you can present your brand. First thing that comes to mind is LinkedIn and headshot and the background. But that's only one spot. There are way more than that. I mentioned resume, of course, that's another one. But there are more than 20, 30 spots that you can present and show your brand. You might say and ask, well, why do I need to do it all? You don't have to. In fact, not only you don't have to do it all, but also you don't need to go out there and pay for any branding. But if you think about it and have made a few decisions as how you want to always present yourself and be known as, then by knowing these spots and having a cohesive appearance, you already will be standing out. You will be seen, not for who you are, for areas that they are. In the next talk, I'll go deeper into the identity and what are the things that you need to define for yourself, not knowing about yourself, defining about yourself, to be able to then use these spots, these areas, to bring who you are to the bigger world. And here is something that I've prepared for you earlier. So I've put together a list of more than 25 locations on digital world and non-digital world, and they are in 4 different categories, which I am going to share with you after this call. They are in 4 categories of your social appearance, your internal appearance in your companies and where you can basically be visible and show your brand, your asset, the things, the documents, artifacts, the things that you've got that you probably use them quite often when you introduce yourself, when you go somewhere, when you are presenting yourself. And then the last one is the physical appearance. That's the easier one and less of a topic of this conversation. But for example, if I look at one category and share that one with you, it's the internal appearance in your company, your current company. Obviously your bio on corporate wiki, your method to close or sign your email, the style, your presentations and your packs, if they are in your specific style, your corporate phone photo and status, the way that it appears. These are little places that you can apply and demonstrate your branding. If I talk to you about your assets, the top 3 of them, your introduction bio, your resume, and your personal email signature. In this category, I've got a lot more, and I don't want to take your time to read a checklist here, but please download it. It has lots of interesting stuff in it. And there's one that is really close to my heart. I want to see if you can find it and see which one, if you can guess which one it is. And then once you download it, you will see that is a specific one that says something about you, about all of us once we have it. No, it's not your logo. All right, so what I would want to now talk about is the deeper one. The deeper one, the executive identity, is the whole topic of work level up. And that's the one that I go into deeper parts of our different aspects of our being, our identity. We work from the top and we go look at different aspects. If you know me, I always want to have fun with this heavy stuff because I've done a lot of heavy stuff in my life. And I decided that I want to offer them and take them to other people, but make them a little bit more fun, not so heavy. So in each section of the book, if you look at that, you would see that there is a concept, theory. And normally I keep them really short because you do not need to lecture on those stuff. You already have heard them before. But what I've done is the action that comes right after it. And that's where I would invite you to spend your time. Yeah, theory stuff are good, but now what? The actions, the micro actions that you take are the ones that they will help you to define your identity. If you want to know more about that, we can get into a call and talk about that part. But start with the book because, and a section of that, because that's a really good investment of your time and it's a very high return on investment. Then later on, you can go to a coach and work on a specific part. But for now, book, I would say, is the highest ROI in terms of your effort of time. And it does need focused time. It's not something that you can do while you're waiting for kids in the car or sitting in a corner of playground. It's not that type of work. However, with corporate branding and that checklist, you definitely can do it whenever you do. You can put actually Netflix on and start watching something and rebrand your socials or different areas of your digital presence. That is totally fine. In fact, I invite you to do that. Put the checklist, put the Netflix, and put the kids next to you, and you can just do that one, and it's fine. It doesn't need deep work. All right. I guess that's all I wanted to share with you. Let me review everything from the beginning. We compared leadership and executive identity with executive branding. Identity is internal, who you are and what you stand, and who you're about, what you're about. The branding is how you look and how you present yourself. The one is internal, the other one is external. That's how identity is how you see yourself and the world, and branding is how world sees you. You have to do the internal work yourself. Unfortunately, it's not something that you can outsource. It's very unique to you because it's about you and there's only one of you in this world. And the external one, which is about branding, you totally can outsource it. Which one do you need? You need both. And for the branding, download the checklist, and for identity, get the book. I want to make sure that you have it all together, all-rounder, as they say. That's it, my friend. Have a lovely, lovely evening, and I will talk to you next week, Tuesday. Same time, same place. Bye.